In today's video, we're not going to be talking about things around the ranch or anything having to do with travel. In vintage TV shows, there's a lot of comedy being put in that doesn't seem to make any sense. Unless, of course, I guess you've been there.
Dr. Mary Kaiser? That sounds like a woman.
That's because it has something to do with a topic called Callback Comedy.
I'll see you next Wednesday, Dr. Kaiser.
It deals with something that happened in a completely different episode or maybe even a completely different program.
What are you staring at?
I'm sorry, you look so...
What's this, Kaiser? Not one of your nutcases?
There's something about your face.
I'm not too crazy about yours either.
Haven't we...
I'd love to stay around here and listen to you stutter all night, but I have a life to live.
You'll have to excuse my last patient. It's taken me years to undo the damage that was done to him by some quack in Chicago.
In today's video, we have 8 examples of how it works and where the callbacks actually came from. Okay, alright, let's get started. Our first example begins with the Bob Newhart Show, which aired from 1972 to 1978. The actor Bill Daly plays Howard Borden, Bob Newhart's neighbor, and he's always doing sort of ridiculous routines because in the episodes they portray him as a sad sack. Here's a scene from the Bob Newhart Show where Howard Borden comes into Bob's apartment and something unexpected is encountered, and it's kind of funny just by itself, but it's a good setup showing how Howard is a sad sack.
Let me help.
This is our neighbor, Howard Borden. Howard, this is Mr. Tatum.
Well, I'd like to shake your hand, Mr. Tatum, but I'm busy holding up this wall. Why isn't he helping?
He's robbing us, Howard.
You sure picked a heck of a time.
Now, here's how the callback comedy comes into play. From 1982 to 1990, Bob Newhart had another show called Newhart. And in it, he never had the actor who played Howard Borden as his neighbor, but there's an episode where the actor who played Howard Borden does come into a scene, and he's going to be Bob's new neighbor at the hotel that Bob Newhart runs. And in it, well, it's a callback showing how he still is a sad sack.
It's room 2 at the top of the stairs. And take care.
Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, covered bridge, nice. How much?
It's yours. It's on the house.
Yeah, I bet you get one of these to every sad sack that comes through here.
No, you're the inaugural sad sack.
And now, callback example number 2. We had to know about an old TV show called What's My Line from the 1950s. What's My Line was a game show where they had a special contestant come on with a job that was supposed to be a mystery to the panel of 4 famous actors from the 50s, and for that matter beyond, who would try and figure out what the line of that contestant was.
First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
One of the famous actors or celebrities of the time was Tom Poston.
And now a young man who is one of the delights of the Steve Allen Show and who is now starring in the Broadway hit Romanoff and Juliet, Mr. Tom Poston.
Thank you, Arlene. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
The host of the show was John Charles Davis. He knew what the line of the contestant was, and he had a job that was kind of specific to what you're going to discover turns into callback comedy on the Newhart Show. As the celebrities took turns asking questions of the contestant as to what his job line was, the host of the show would turn over cards that were worth $5 each if they got a no answer to one of the questions they asked the contestant.
Does your work require an specialized education? Well, that's not...
No,
I'm afraid not. That's 8 down and 2 to go, Mr. Sir.
After a certain number of cards got turned over, the contestant had won the match against the celebrities.
No. 9 lying down and one to go, Miss Francis.
At times, even the host would determine that they were running out of time for asking any more questions, and he would just flip over all the cards and saying, I'm sorry, but we've got to turn over all the cards because, you can't figure out who this guy is. Too bad you asked too many questions.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I don't think we
Make
can
it a
call it
$2.50 one, John. Don't go the whole
$10 and no more to go. Mr. Cobb is the woman's fashion editor for the Virginian Pilot in Newport.
With that brief explanation, we now go into the Newhart Show, where Tom Poston is now 30 years older, and he's the character George in Newhart, and the callback comedy takes place. Actually, it turns out to be a double callback comedy because the scene that we just saw where the postcard got taken away is a callback comedy portion of the segment. But watch what happens as far as how it relates to What's My Line and all the cards being turned over.
Did somebody buy the postcard of the covered bridge? I gave it away, George. Was this person a member of your family or a close personal friend? No. Was this person somebody who pulled you out of a burning building as a child? No. Was this person Mamie Van Doren? No, but that's 3 down, George. I'm afraid I'm going to have to turn over all the cards. I gave it to a guest. You never gave me a postcard.
Moving on to callback comedy example number 3, it came out of a Charlie Chan movie, and it had to do with incomplete sentences. In several Charlie Chan movies, there was an actor named Mantan Moreland. He played a character called Birmingham. He was actually one of Charlie Chan's assistants, and he was there for comic relief. He did a skit called Incomplete Sentences. Here it is.
Well, if it ain't, Ben Carter's man. Benjamin Carter, yes. Boy, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you since. Longer than that. Yeah? The last time I saw you, you was living... Oh, I moved from there. Yeah? Sure, I moved over to... How can you live in that neighborhood? I don't know. Now, where I'm living, I only pay... It ain't that cheap, is it? Sure it is. Hey, look here. Look, is you still married? No, I divorced. Yeah. I know you have a lot of... You got me wrong. I got married again. No, yeah. I sure did. Yeah. Say, I'm changing the subject. Yeah. Have you got a... No, I don't smoke. No. Hey, look here. Well, you in the... Yeah, but I got an honorable discharge. You did? I sure did. What was it about? Well, I just off the kind of... Oh, that's a terrible thing. Yeah. Yeah, it starts right along more in the back. Yeah? Mm-hmm. What are you doing for it? Well, I was taking some... Don't take them. And they'll make you sleep. Yeah? Sure. Now, what you should have taken... I did. You know what? That's how come I like to talk to you. Yeah. Because me and you seem to agree with each other. We sure do it. Yeah.
And suddenly, the Bob Newhart Show enters the picture once again, doing a callback comedy routine using incomplete sentences.
Oh, Howie, you never told me you had a girlfriend. Is Helen anything like,
No, she's more like,
she's sort of a little bit outside of that
she has
same...
more of a, you know...
Oh, you mean she's a little more this way?
Not quite. Oh, yeah.
Oh, then she sounds more like she's...
Yeah, that's right. Isn't she, Bob?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little more, I would say.
Right.
Well, I've got to get to work over to do. And I'm on my way to Topeka.
If you didn't know, Bob Newhart's profession is being a psychologist, which brings us to callback example number 4. Bob Newhart all over again, and even Alf knows what Bob Newhart does for work.
Alf, do you know what a psychologist is?
Sure. I know all about psychology. I used to watch the old Bob Newhart Show.
Sometimes with callback comedy, it seems like the writers just can't control themselves, because in callback comedy example number 5, Howard from the Bob Newhart Show is now on Alf, and he's playing the psychologist. And Willie from Alf comes in to see the psychologist. But as far as callback comedy is concerned, the extra patient sitting on the couch in the waiting room is one of Bob Newhart's former patients, Mr. Carlin.
Well, I'll see you next week, okay? And on your way home, keep telling yourself over and over, there's no such thing as a space creature. Hi, Willie. There. I'm next. You still have 10 minutes before your session? Come on in. I don't want to take up any of your time. You mean my time? Come on. In 9 minutes, I'm coming in there.
If you're familiar with the Pepsi Challenge, you'll know what number 6 is all about.
John here says that he prefers the leading cola to Pepsi.
Right.
I want you to taste both colas, John, and tell me which taste you prefer.
This one.
Well, what do you know, Pepsi?
In taste tests across Australia, over 50% of people preferred the taste of Pepsi Cola over the leading cola.
I'm gonna go for Pepsi. I'm sure.
Don't take our word for it. Let your taste decide.
This one is definitely the Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Pepsi. Pepsi.
I like Pepsi a lot better.
Pepsi tastes better.
Taste. That's the real thing. So take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
To understand Callback Comedy number 7, you have to be aware that there used to be an old TV show during the 1960s called My Favorite Martian. Ray Walston is the actor who stars as the alien in My Favorite Martian. Bill Bixby is the actor who befriends the alien, and he actually rescues him after he crashes on Earth. Now, in the Alf movie, Ray Walston plays just a regular civilian who encounters Alf, an actual alien, and the Callback Comedy takes place.
Hi! Do you have a phone? Alright, take your time, get over the initial shock, then answer my question. Do you have a phone? Payphone. Outside. How about a coat? What phone? You said the phone was outside, didn't you? Yeah. Then I'll need a coat. And a hat if you have one. And I'll need a quarter. Yeah. Sure. Anything. You're not gonna bite me, are you? Not for a quarter. You're not from around here, are you? Minnesota. Somehow, I thought it would be farther than that. Michigan. Yeah. Yeah, the Wolverine state. Yeah. Yeah, that would explain it.
And finally, in number 8, even music can be used in Callback Comedy. Standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a sign, fight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down. Take a look at me.
Murph, is that you?
Alf, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. Too early for room service.
I'm not calling for room service. I'm not even calling from my room. Ask me where I am.
Where are you?
I'm standing on a corner somewhere in Arizona. Not a fine sight to see. Hold it. There's someone slowing down to take a look at me.
Yeah, right. I'll go on a flatbed Ford, huh?
How'd you know?
Just a guess. Good night, Alf.
Okay, so here's what we have so far. We have a driveway cleared out. We have it sort of defined right there. We trimmed the branches down, but we still need to do some more trimming. This tiny source will fit in here, but the Gigantosaurus won't. And back all the way up, we have a little bit of decoration going with the rocks around the trees. Ran out of rocks. But you can back up to here. There's a little trail that goes that way towards the water. A little trail that goes over here to the sitting spot.